has now defined ourselves. In the news, police confirm attack on Greenfield University in Kaduna, President Kenyatta in Kinshasa to cement ties between Kenya and the DRC. Mass pro-Navalny protest looms as Putin addresses Russia. And in business, Sovereign Trust grows profit by 37%. And in sports, all 6 Premier League teams withdraw from competition. Details shortly. This is TOS TV, your digital first Pan-African network. I'm Musa Isesele, and this is TOS News 360. The National Orientation Agency has commenced training and capacity building for its Freedom of Information Desk officers and committee members. Speaking at the commencement of the training in Abuja, Director General of the National Orientation Agency, Garba Abari, represented by the agency's Director of Planning, Research and Strategy, Samuel Sogu, explained that the training became necessary to acquaint the officers with provisions of the Act, understand it, as well as properly apply it where necessary.
To enable us stabilize and maintain our position, even coming first, this training for state directors, desk officers, and the committee members has become imperative. I therefore urge all the participants, in fact all of us, to take advantage of this and get at our fingertips what the Freedom of Information Act is all about.
We hope that at the end of this training program, the staff trained will understand and appreciate the objectives of the FOI Act 2011, identify compliance issues under the FOI Act, respond to all applications and requests with ease, apply the provision of the Act without infraction.
More accolades came the way of Farm for Me Tractor Rental Service, Nigeria's leading agri-tech company, as it bagged an international award of Africa's leading quality farm equipment sales and rental service provider of the year 2021 at the 7th African Quality Achievement Awards held on April 16th. The award, organized by World Quality Alliance, is coming on the heels of another international award of West Africa's best world-class digital agricultural investment platform brand, scooped by the company barely a month ago. The African Quality Achievement Awards is an annual event that rewards companies, personalities, and products that apply quality culture, quality management best practices, and excellent service designed to achieve the corporate objectives of both profit and non-profit making organizations in Africa. The Inspector General of Police, IGP Usman Alkali, has ordered an immediate withdrawal of senior police officers attached to the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC. The development signals a simmering hostility between the two law enforcement agencies with a long-standing history of collaboration that has helped the anti-graft agency to meet its personnel needs since inception. A copy of the IGP's letter dated April 15, 2021, made available to newsmen, asked the EFCC chair, Abdul Rashid Bauer, to release all senior officers from the rank of Chief Superintendent Office of Police, CSP, and above attached to the commission. The police command in Kaduna State has confirmed an attack by gunmen on Greenfield University Tuesday evening. The university, located on Kaduna-Abuja Highway, was attacked at about 8:35 p.m. Tuesday. The Command Police Public Relations Officer, ASP Mohammed Jalige, while making the confirmation Wednesday in Kaduna, said one of the students were abducted. The federal government of Nigeria has blamed the sudden return of queues at filling stations in parts of the country to what it described as unresolved feud between petroleum tanker drivers and their employers, amongst other issues. Specifically, fuel stations in the Federal Capital Territory have suddenly started witnessing long queues of motorists struggling to buy petrol since Saturday. Group Managing Director of Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation (NNPC), Male Yari, assured the nation that the queues would soon disappear. He gave the assurance Tuesday while fielding questions from newsmen at the Presidential Villa Abuja after he debriefed President Muhammadu Buhari on the goings-on in the nation's petroleum sector. This is your digital-first Pan-African news network, TOS Television. You're watching TOS News 360. More stories in a moment. Do stay tuned. Welcome back and thanks so much for staying with us. The National Pension Commission, PENCOM, has regretted the non-payment of accrued pension rights of federal government employees who retired between March last year and March this year under the Contributory Pension Scheme, CPS. The employees are yet to receive their pensions due to the non-payment of their accrued pension rights. PENCOM Director General Asha Dai Udmar made this known during the oversight visit of the Senate Committee on Establishment and Public Services to the Commission. Appreciating the role played by the Senate Committee in the past to move the National Assembly to intervene in the matter of payment of outstanding pension liabilities of the federal government, she stated that they were yet to surmount the challenge because pension liability is a moving target that increases monthly as federal employees retire. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, Tuesday interrogated former governor of Zamfara State, Abdulaziz Yari, over his alleged handling of transactions relating to the Pari Club Fund refund while he served as chairman of Nigerian Governors Forum. Yari was said to be facing questions over other allegations of corruption. Spokesman of the EFCC, Wilson Uwu-Jaren, confirmed that the former governor was invited by the commission's office in Sokoto. It was gathered that Yari was granted bail, but was yet to perfect the bail conditions. Now moving across Africa, the International Court of Justice ruled in 2005 that Uganda had to pay Kinshasa reparations for invading its vast Central African neighbor during a 1998 to 2003 war that left 3 million people dead. The Democratic Republic of Congo accused Uganda of barbarity Tuesday in a fresh bid at the UN's top court to extract billions of dollars in compensation over a brutal war 2 decades ago. The International Court of Justice ruled in 2005 that Uganda had to pay Kinshasa reparations for invading its vast Central African neighbor during a 1998 to 2003 war that left 3 million people dead. The case is now back before the Hague-based ICJ, which must make a final ruling on the amount of compensation after the two squabbling countries failed to reach an agreement through negotiations. Chad has reported its borders reopened Wednesday, a day after they were closed following the death in combat of President Idris Deby Itno, the country's new transitional military council said. A curfew was also imposed after the veteran leader's death Tuesday. Activities in the West African country, the curfew would now begin from 8 p.m. instead of 6 p.m., according to a statement signed by the military council spokesman Azem Benam Doa Aguana. The Prosecutor General's office has announced Tuesday that the death toll from a train derailment over the weekend in Egypt's Kwali-Yubia province has risen to 23. The number of injured totaled 139, it said in a statement. The statement said that as part of the investigation, along with 23 suspects, the decision to arrest the train driver and his assistant was made. The Cairo-Mansoura passenger train 949 went off tracks in the city of Banha, north of Cairo. Last month, 32 people lost their lives and 66 others sustained injuries in a train accident. This is your digital first Pan-African news network, TOS Television, and you're still watching TOS News 360. More stories after this time out, to stay tuned. Welcome back. Still across Africa, Kenya's President Uhuru Kenyatta is in Kinshasa for a 3-day state visit of the Democratic Republic of Congo at the invitation of President Felix Tshisekedi. Speaking in Kinshasa ahead of President Kenyatta's arrival, Kenya's ambassador to DR Congo, Dr. George Masafu, said President Kenyatta's 3-day state visit is aimed at cementing the excellent bilateral ties between Kenya and the DRC through enhanced trade and people-to-people interactions. According to him, the visit also targets strengthening the relationship between Kenya and DRC through diplomatic relations, trade, security, and other areas that will build both. After decades without legal cover, farmer Mohamed Murabet looks forward to selling his hashish this summer on the open market now that Morocco plans to legalize cannabis for medical use. The government of the world's top hashish producing nation last month ratified a draft bill to legalize its medical use, and Parliament is expected to debate the legislation this week. According to a report released last year by the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime (UNODC), Morocco is the world's biggest producer of cannabis resin, or hashish. A U.S. jury has found a former police officer guilty of murder over the death of African-American George Floyd on a Minneapolis street last year. Derek Chauvin, 45, was filmed kneeling on Floyd's neck for more than 9 minutes during his arrest last May. The widely watched footage sparked worldwide protests against racism and excessive use of force by police. Chauvin was found guilty on 3 charges: second-degree murder, third-degree murder, and manslaughter. His bail was immediately revoked and he was placed in custody. Sentencing is likely to happen in 2 months, and Chauvin could spend decades in jail. Russian President Vladimir Putin delivers a State of the Nation address on Wednesday as Russia deals with crisis in ties with the West and faces calls for mass protests in support of jailed Kremlin critic Alexei Navalny. The long-time Russian leader's annual speech to lawmakers and regional governors sets the political agenda, and last year saw Putin lay out a plan that eventually gave him the power to stay in office until 2036. This year's address comes with Moscow locked in diplomatic disputes with the United States and Europe over a Russian troop buildup on Ukraine's borders and a series of espionage scandals. Moving on to business, for about 3 years now, Nigerian importers have been paying an arbitrary fee of 16 billion naira yearly as container deposit fees to foreign shipping companies. Executive Secretary of Nigerian Shippers Council, Hassan Bello, who disclosed this during the press conference in Lagos, described the fee as exploitation, noting that the agency is collaborating with the National Insurance Commission, NICON, to put an end to the arbitrary payment by the second quarter of 2021. Bello explained that in 2018, Nigeria paid 16 billion naira to foreign shipping companies as container deposit fees, and that the figures for 2019 and 2020 were not different from what obtained in 2018. This is your digital first Pan-African News Network, TOS Television, business reports, and more after this break. Do stay tuned. Thank you so much for staying with us. Now we continue with business. Sovereign Trust Insurance PLC said it achieved a growth of 37% in its profit after tax for the year ended December 31, 2020. The company said it grew its profit after tax from 503 million naira in 2019 to 687 million naira in 2020. The gross premium written in 2020 stood at 11.1 billion naira compared to the 10.8 billion naira written in 2019. This represented a marginal increase of 2%. Similarly, its total assets grew from 13.4 billion naira the previous year to 14.8 billion naira in 2020, representing an 11% increase. The federal government has announced plans to increase milk production from the current 600,000 metric tons to 1.7 million metric tons by 2024. Nigeria's Vice President, Professor Yemi Oshibanja, who gave the short-term target, said the government will provide the needed infrastructure to enhance milk aggregation and distribution, and that the plan will reduce the $1.3 billion dairy importation bill. The Vice President, represented by the Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, Niyi Adebayo, at a webinar organized by Friesland Campina Wamco Nigeria PLC to launch its Value for Dairy Consortium, said dairy is one of Nigeria's priority products for domestic production as it is a source of demand for foreign exchange adding that it also has the potential to create wealth for farmers. James Stedman, the colorful composer behind hits like Bat Out of Hell and Total Eclipse of the Heart, has died at the age of 73. His brother Bill announced that the songwriter and producer had died of kidney failure on Monday after being ill for some time. Nigerian comedian Mensoma Mercy Obi, otherwise known as Ada Jesus, died in an Abuja-based hospital on Wednesday, April 21st, after suffering a cardiac arrest on Tuesday. Ada Jesus had been battling with kidney disease for months after being diagnosed at the hospital. She was confirmed dead via a phone call from human rights activist Gwamnishu Emefiana Harrison. Before giving up, the comedian had asked for forgiveness from those she has offended when her sickness took a different turn, including Prophet Chukwuemeka Odumeje and Nollywood actress Rita Edochie. Ghanaian actress Akwampem Polo jail sentence for posting nude photo with her son has attracted an online drag to American rapper Cardi B. Accra Circuit Court had sentenced the actress to 3 months in prison for posting naked picture of herself alongside a 7-year-old son on social media. This is your digital first Pan-African news network, TOS Television. Up next is sports. Just stay tuned. Welcome back. Now moving on to stories in sports. The group stage draw of the Tokyo Games was conducted on Wednesday with the African representatives learning their fates. The draw, which was conducted on Wednesday at FIFA headquarters in Zurich, was led by Sarai Berman, FIFA Chief Women's Football Officer, and FIFA's Director of Tournaments, James Yaza. They were assisted by 2 legends, Lindsay Tampley, member of the USA Women's National Team, and 2-time Olympic gold medalist Athens 2004 and Beijing 2008, and Ryan Nelson, captain of the New Zealand Olympic squad in 2008 and London 2012. All 6 Premier League teams involved in the European Super League ESL have now withdrawn from the competition. Manchester City were the first club to pull out after Chelsea had signaled their intent to do so by preparing documentation to withdraw. The other 4 sides, Arsenal, Liverpool, Manchester United and Tottenham, have all now followed suit. Italian side Inter Milan are also set to withdraw as they no longer wish to be involved with the project. It was gathered that bosses at the Serie A club are preparing for their exit following Tuesday night's dramatic developments. And that is TOS News 360 on the Digital First Pan-African News Network. For more updates, visit www.tostvnetwork.com. Do follow and like TOS Television Network on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And remember to subscribe on our YouTube channel. Do stay with us also and enjoy more programs on TOS Television Network. I'm Musa Zeh Isesele. Thank you for watching and God bless you.